Hey, tourpreneurs, it's Mitch Bach, and just a quick note before we begin today's episode. Tourpreneur is currently sponsored by Google. We're thankful for their support of our community, and we are offering with them a completely free course helping you unlock the power and potential of Google's Things to Do program, which is specifically helping tour operators add their tours to Google in new ways that gives you new exposure and more direct bookings. To learn more, go to tourpreneur.com/Google. And as always, show notes, more resources, links to our newsletter, our business coaching community, and so much more are available on tourpreneur.com. Now to the episode.
Today's episode of the Tourpreneur podcast is kindly sponsored by Checkfront, the booking platform trusted by over 5,000 tour and activity operators around the world. This month, Checkfront is offering an exclusive 90-day free trial for tourpreneurs. Find out more at checkfront.com/tourpreneur.
Welcome to the Tourpreneur podcast. Travel industry veteran Shane Whaley will take you on a journey with fellow tourpreneurs, sharing their tips, ideas, insights, and success stories to inspire you to make your tour business the best it can be. And now, here is your host, Shane Whaley.
And welcome to the Tourpreneur podcast for our 30-day Things to Do Tour Operator Challenge. We are on day 12 today, and we are joined on Tourpreneur by Kyla. How are you, Kyla?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. What's today's challenge?
So what we want you to do today is to create a dedicated page on your website for frequently asked questions, also known as a FAQ page. If you have one already, that's great, but your FAQ page should be something that you update on a regular basis. Like when you get a question that you haven't heard before, or as your business changes, like having COVID restrictions, for instance.
Absolutely. What kind of questions do you think we need to answer? And I know you give quite a few of these in the workbook, which our listeners can find at tourpreneur.com/challenge. What kind of questions? And I know this is quite tricky because, tours is very fragmented, but just in general.
Yeah, I mean, exactly what you said. It is going to be different across the board for every tour operator. I think a great way to go about it, how to come up with the questions, is to first brainstorm what questions you regularly hear from guests, whether over the phone, at the front desk, or during the experience, which is also why it's a great idea to ask your tour guides what they hear a lot, because they will have great insight. Or if you really want to boost your SEO with your FAQ page, start by entering your type of tour and location into Google, and then scroll to the People Also Ask section, and there will be questions that maybe you can pick out that you can answer.
Oh, I like that. That's a ninja tip.
It is a ninja tip. I use this all the time when it comes to creating content for the Checkfront blog. So it really gives you an idea what people are asking, what they want to know. And if you answer it, that's a great way to get more traffic to your website because your little snippet will be right there. So
yeah, that's really cool to know because I just think of the FAQ as helping the customer. I've never really thought of the SEO implications of what you're writing. So that's another benefit for day 12. And you give a long list of questions here for us to answer. And it is the standard things, isn't it? Like, what's the policy on kids? When does it start? When does it end? My favorite one I always ask is, where exactly is the meeting place? Because I always kind of get freaked out about where that is. So I know exactly on the map how to get there, cancellation policies. And I think the best bit of advice for our listeners on day 12 is to maybe go through backlog of emails that have come in over a certain period of time, and you'll pick out what questions people are asking. And if it's not answered on your website, well, even if it is, there's no harm in putting it in the FAQ page, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's also a great idea when it comes to your FAQ page to categorize the questions. So you can have your general questions, which includes your refund and cancellation policy. You can have a section for each of your different tours, because I know that some of the details will be different across the board for that. And you can have a section, which is really appropriate for now, of your COVID restrictions and procedures.
And also a fun section, because I like how you write, don't be afraid to include silly, random, and absurd questions.
Yeah, I love when businesses do that. It shows off your personality, makes the fact page a little more fun. I always get a giggle when I read the ludicrous questions that tourists ask, especially I think I took the question from something that I heard that park rangers here at Banff National Park. So yeah, you can have some fun with it.
What's the question?
Where can I see the bears pose?
That's an important question. I'd want to know that. And what time, so I can get my camera ready and, all of that. No, that's cool. I like it when I see it. It brings the tour and experience alive. And again, maybe go through your emails and see if you've had questions that might have been silly at the time, but would give somebody a bit of a giggle if they were to read it on the FAQ page. Kyla, fantastic. That's day 12.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Tourpreneur podcast. Be sure to visit tourpreneur.com to join the conversation and access the show notes, including links to the resources mentioned on today's episode. This is Tourpreneur.